Welcome to Cantina Vizsla. For the safety of the bartenders and any other patrons, remember to keep all arms, legs, tentacles, or any other extremities you may have to yourself at all times. So come right in, grab a drink, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Coming to you from the Panic Room in the crap part of the cantina, I'm Sparrow, and with me, as always, is a man who some say the reason the Oscars had no host was 'cause he refused. All I know is I call him Stan.
Yeah, I was busy. I had video games to play, Star Wars to talk about. I ain't got time for dumb movies.
Ruined the Oscars whole night. No one knew what to do, no host. They tried to hodgepodge it together, and it just wasn't the same without you, Stan.
Yeah, maybe next year.
They'll put Star Wars Celebration at the same time right there so you can just jump back and forth and kind of...
Yeah, that's it.
They'll goad you into it. They'll be like, well, Episode 9 did really good, and they're all going to be there.
Yeah, like next year it'll probably be like all Episode 9. Best picture, best musical, best animated, you name it. Episode 9.
It'll go along with all the horrible reviews they're already getting on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I saw that. Humanity, we're doomed.
No trailer, no leaked scripts, just wrapping up production. This movie is horrible. Don't even bother going to see it. It is absolutely garbage.
All right, don't know what it is, but I hate it. Do not like green eggs and ham.
That is pretty much what they're saying right now. So, other than that BS, what have you been doing all week?
Oh, not a whole lot. It's just been one of them busy weeks. Work has sucked and is sucking the soul out of me. So if I feel a little down this week, that's probably why. Checked out Bohemian Rhapsody. That came out on rental. The Queen quote unquote biopic. It was decent for what it was. They were a little fast and loose with some of the facts, but it was an interesting enough movie for what it was.
So,
have you seen it yet?
I have seen it yet, and what you mentioned about it I think is absolutely hilarious because the surviving members of Queen were actually heavily involved and helped produce the script and film it.
Yeah. I saw that they were involved.
So I go through it. They're like, oh, they're fast and loose about the facts. And I'm like, well, they were there on set to give them the facts, or at least what they believed the facts were from what they could remember. So,
well, there was. We all know kind of the basic gist of it, the kind of the high notes, but the order of the things are really just rearranged to make a better story, which really didn't need to happen because it's an interesting story just on its own. But.
Yeah. But, yeah, I just thought it was interesting. They go through, they were loose on the facts. I'm like, well, they kind of signed off on it. So, although they might not quite remember everything completely for one reason or another.
If you just want something fun to watch, you like Queen music, the acting is good, the music's good, check it out. Don't expect anything hard-hitting.
Yeah.
What about you? What have you been up to?
Oh, kind of got sucked into Netflix, The Umbrella Academy. Have you heard about that?
I've heard a lot of good things about that. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's really good.
It is really good. It's an interesting take on, basically a lot of people compare it to the X-Men, and I can kind of see that, but I didn't realize they started looking a little bit into it today after I finished the whole thing, that it's like the lead singer from My Chemical Romance actually wrote this, and then him and a friend went through and illustrated it. And that's where the original graphic novel came from. And then they just made this into a Netflix original.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I did not expect that being the writer. I thought it was an older, kind of like Watchmen, and that's been around for a while and just finally got made into a show with all these superhero shows and movies coming out. But no, it's actually a fairly new one. I think they said it came out in like 2005. So
how many parades are in it?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get to a parade yet, unfortunately.
I bet it's a black one.
Yeah, it is a very dark black parade after the apocalypse. It's a very lonely parade of one. But yeah, other than that, I've been going through and working on building a whole bunch of shelving and everything for my office, trying to get it all set up and squared away now that I have just getting everything set up where I want it, figure out what I need in my office. So working on that, and then been following a lot of these rocket launches. And we've talked about it quite a few times. So went through, they just launched one last week that went through and did like an Indian internet satellite, and then actually launched a Israeli lunar lander that was trying to go for that Google X Prize for landing on the moon.
Yeah.
So this was basically one of the final entrants into that contest, and actually the first one to go up into space. Apparently there's one or two more that are trying to get up there. And then we turn around here on Saturday. SpaceX is doing another one. They're doing their demo launch for their crew capsule going up to the International Space Station. So quick turnaround.
Yeah, pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, a little over a week. They're going to go through and turn everything around on the same launch pad and take it up. So that's really cool. And then they have that Falcon Heavy going off. Should be here by the end of March. So lots of cool rocket launches.
Very cool. Very cool.
Now,
well.
Yeah, let's get into the game. I know. There was a little bit of hype surrounding this week in the game.
You can almost say a failure to launch.
Yeah. I wouldn't say a failure launch. I would say it launched very successfully. There might have been some technical difficulties when landing, or actually about halfway up.
I think it's one of those things where I'm probably going to screw this all up. You know, you aim for the moon and miss, you're still in the stars. I kind of think that's where we're going to end up here.
Yeah. Definitely could see that. So I know what you're talking about. Why don't you tell everybody else what transpired in your week of Galaxy of Heroes?
Okay. So we all know General Grievous is out. He got his rework, and it has been the talk of the town. Up and down, left, right, you name it. We're all talking about it. We're going to talk about it on this show, too. But that's been my week. I went all in. You know, the video came out. The initial one where he looked like a Revan Killer. I even had it on my outline, a Grievous, Revan Killer. It has since been deleted. But that being said, my Grievous is maxed, full gear, both Zetas. Got him up to 68,000 health, which we'll talk about why that is important later. I figured since I did that, I might as well get B2 up. He is a gear 12 and Zetaed.
Okay.
I got my B.
Hold on. I'm completely forgetting. What am I doing? Here's General Grievous. Oh, man. General Grievous deserves a Zeta. So what? B12 also went to gear 12. Did you give the Zeta to B2?
Yes.
All right. There you go.
Yeah, I know you're so befuddled of the words coming out of my mouth. It did not make any sense of what I was doing and why.
I know why you were doing it. I just doesn't mean just going through and cringing for you.
Yeah, well, keep the cringe coming.
All right,
B1 up to gear 11.
Oh, I'll give you a gear 12 for that.
Yeah, I'm not getting him to gear 12 or 7 stars just yet. We'll see how my Revan Panic Farm goes and see what I got left over. And get all your cringes ready. I got my Magna Guard up to...
Wait, did you Zeta B1 also? I did.
I did, yes. I Zeta B1.
So 4 Zetas right there this week.
So far, so good.
All right.
Yep. And then Magna Guard, I got him up to gear 10. He's awaiting a little bit of gear.
Okay.
But he got a Zeta.
That is a Zeta heavy week there.
Yep. So all in all, my brand new droid separatist team, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Zetas.
All right. That is a special team right there.
They are. They're my little buddies. I'm going to just take care of them, load them up in the minivan, take them to go play. We'll see what happens with them. Maybe they'll win a game or two, maybe not. I don't know. But that big old beautiful pile of gear I listed off last week, it is gone.
Well, it could be worse. Because even with that gear gone, you still have that crystal stockpile for something that is more than likely going to be happening shortly here, probably end of next month, I would assume.
Oh, so I'm thinking sooner than that.
Yeah, but I mean, either way, you're in a good position for anything that's still upcoming. Granted, you might take an extra week or two to gear them, or gear one character, or whatever it is, but you're still in position to unlock and actually put yourself in a good position when it does show up.
Oh, for sure. Well, enough about me. Depressed and confused everybody. What have you been up to?
Well, finally getting rid of some of these longer farms. So Houndstooth is finally 7 stars.
Oh, that's a good feeling.
Yes, I am so happy about that. And to go along with, not really go along with that, but kind of setting up a long farm, I did finally give Jolie a Zeta. So
okay, all right.
With Jolie, I mean, I had the Zeta saved up. I had basically 70 Zetas, so.
I mean, it's no Magna Guard Zeta, but no. it's pretty good.
It's pretty good. But yeah, so it went through, gave Jolie the Zeta because I finally it was reserved for Jolie to begin with. It finally got him up to Gear 11, so that kind of meant I had the whole Revan team at Gear 12 and Jolie at Gear 11. It was time to work. And when I mean work, I mean a lot of painful work of a couple hours of remodding my whole roster, because it's unloading all my Treya team mods onto my Revan team and then picking out mods to go onto that Treya team, and just the trickle down effect is just it is rough in order to do all that. But I got through it, put them into Arena. Seemed to be, well, I'm not dropping down to like 100 anymore. I'm staying top 50, which is good, and can climb up to around 20th. I'm still trying to figure out, adjusting my mods, adjusting my strategy, trying to figure out these Revan versus Revan mirror matches and working my way up. But man, let me tell you, those Revan mirror matches, even if you do have, I mean, I'm outspeeding people and I have good mods on my characters, it is painful. It is not a guarantee. You aren't guaranteed to win based on who Revan decides to go after right away. You go through, it marks the wrong person, you're essentially done.
Yeah, I know that all too well. I run Chewie in my arena squad, and if he gets marked, that's a wrap.
Oh, yeah. So who do you put Chewie in for?
Bastila.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to try that next tomorrow when I climb, just to try that out.
Speaking of another team, I saw a team with Mission and Zalbar under a Revan team. It was Grandmaster Yoda, Jolie, Mission, and Zalbar and Revan, and it was at first place, and it hit like a truck. I could see it doing real well on offense. It didn't do too hot on defense because they just didn't play right. But had the RNG gone their way and they targeted my Jolie, I would have been done because I had to use this res a couple of times.
Ooh,
so that's a pretty interesting team out there.
I have that team. Very well. I think I even gave Mission and Zalbar some Gear 12 Plus pieces, or Gear 12 pieces, not Gear 12 Plus yet. But yeah, that sounds like a plan. I mean, that sounds fun, so I might have to do that.
Yeah, give it a shot.
Yeah, no different than on defense as far as who Revan marks to begin with. If they mark Jolie, you're done. If they don't, regardless who's in the team. So yeah, I might have to try that out. That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. Well, any other good ideas out there?
Yeah, nothing else as far as I did. I'm just kind of plugging away right now, trying to get Jolie up to gear 12 and Kira finished up. So it's just grinding away on these characters right now. But let's get into the Star Wars news, and then we'll really get into why we're both kind of cringy for your droids. And
all right.
Everything that happened around it, because, man, it was one hell of a week when it came to that.
Yeah, indeed. Well, in lighter news, lightsaber dueling is now a recognized sport in France. So I'm in luck now. I got 2 sabers and another one on the way. I can pack up, move to France, and get a new career if this podcast thing doesn't work out.
Wait, you got a third lightsaber?
I did, yeah. I found a used Vader saber on a pretty decent deal, so I had to bite the bullet on that. Use some of that tax refund money.
Oh, okay. No, but just with clearing that up, I knew you had 2, and I was like, wait, a third? When did that happen?
Yeah, so now I'm in a conundrum. I have 2 red sabers and 1 blue, so I obviously have to get a green one now, just for symmetry's sake.
Or a purple.
Maybe purple.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's some more rumors going around that the Kenobi project that's been out there, it was rumored to be a movie for a long time. Well, now it looks like it may be a 6-episode limited run miniseries that would air on the Disney Plus service.
Now, wasn't that original rumor that it was a Kenobi movie because of what they were doing at D12 and the Disney releases, in which they went through and announced the Star Wars movie setup, in which they had Boba Fett and Kenobi listed as movie ideas that they were working on?
I don't know if it ever made it to any sort of announcement, but it had been rumored for a while, and then with the Solo issue at the box office, for lack of a better word, they went to say that we're going to relook at how they were going to deliver this content, and I kind of think this is a better idea.
Yeah,
just given what Kenobi's doing there, he can't get on in too many crazy adventures. I think just a limited, intimate story, over 6 or 7 episodes or whatever, would be perfect.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea for Boba Fett also.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Boba Fett has a lot more storyline to go along with it, so you could probably draw it out over longer than 6 episodes, but I think it would be better than a movie. Yeah,
it gives you a little more leeway with the character development, and you can just do different stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope this rumor is true. And possibly related news, an unannounced Star Wars series has begun filming in the UK with some of the UK listings they have to do over there. So could be the same thing. We don't know.
Yeah, unless they already started filming The Mandalorian, so it's not that.
Oh, they finished filming Mandalorian. It's wrapped.
Yeah, so episode 9's wrapped. Yeah, that would be the next thing on the docket, unless they're doing something with Boba Fett. That's the only other one I can think of. Or, Rian Johnson's stuff isn't set up yet. They're still trying to write that out and flesh that idea out.
Right.
But
and I think they probably want to give a little more time before they announce anything with his name associated.
It really wasn't that bad. That's the bad thing about it. It's people hated on specific characters, and it had nothing to do with the way he filmed it or did anything in that movie. But
yeah,
let's get into the calendar here, and then let's dig into the nitty gritty of this week. Then,
yeah, we've got a jam-packed calendar right now. We've got Grandmaster's Training going on. We've got Mechanized Menace 2 going on. We've got Grand Arena going on. 3 versus 3v3 variety. We've got a territory war going on. We're setting our defenses as we speak. Had a credit heist today. Did you get your $5 million?
I got $4 million.
Womp womp.
Yeah. Yep.
I heard a lot of people got 12 million last week. So I don't know how randomized that is.
Yeah, I think I got 10 million last week. So
yeah, I think maybe they bump it up a little bit just to depending on what the economy is doing. Let's see. We've got Imperial Fleet going on. We've got a contraband cargo coming up on the 27th. We've got Places of Power. Is that one that awards mods?
I don't even know. I go through and hit auto and just be done with it.
I mean, we've got to talk about these mod rewards. I mean, it's great. I know a lot of players need them, but can they not all be health at least?
Yeah, just randomize it on what we're getting, whether it's health, crit damage, crit chance, speed, anything else. and please let us sell them from the inbox. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would be great.
Man, having to rearrange mods or just do a deep study dive on them every time I do an event, it's getting old.
Yeah, just so you can delete them to get them into your mod inventory, so you can delete the ones that you just put in there. Yeah, it's a mess as far as that goes. We don't even need the mod. I would like a mod cap increase, but it doesn't even need to be that. Just being able to delete them from the inbox would be a big help.
Yeah. I think you can delete them from the inbox, but you have to delete the whole message.
Sell them, I should say, not delete them. You can't delete them from the inbox. But
all right, so we got that coming up. We should get March's calendar and login character pretty soon, which I'm interested in seeing what that's going to be.
Yeah, so March 1st is Friday, so yeah, definitely would be going through and seeing something this week. And
speaking of what we're going to see this week, we have it on the outline of what Crumb has been up to.
I haven't really seen anything what Crumb's been up to. I know like a couple weeks ago he was mentioned on Cubs Fan Han's stream about working on a puzzle, but that was about it. So maybe this week.
He's got a puzzle coming up, and I think we're going to get that this week.
Along with HK47 as a login character.
Possibly. Did we just have HK as a login not too long ago?
I don't know.
Or am I just...
Possibly. Maybe. Who knows?
I'm sure. So we should probably research before we do this show. Who knows?
Off the cuff. Forget about it. HK47 as the login. That's my prediction.
I could see it. Anyway, I think we're going to get...
Actually, even better. Gamorrean Guard as a login character.
That would be pretty good. Considering. We'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, I think we're going to get a puzzle this week. I think we'll get a kit reveal for whatever the answer is. Whatever that could be. We'll get that next week with the event actually starting in the next week.
Okay. I could see that. I can maybe a week after that.
I could see it possibly going. I could see it bumping out a week, give us one more week of farming, but we're not going to get much more than that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. At most, one more week past that, but right there within that 2 week. So it'd be launching within 2 to 3 weeks, an event. Yeah, I'm in that same boat as far as what I'm thinking as far as the calendar goes. I do have a big issue with this calendar, though.
What's that?
Grand Arena being at the same time as Territory Wars is absolutely horrendous. I want it run during territory battles.
Yeah, I can see it. I don't see it that big an issue, but I can see where it could be a little.
It's the same game mode over like between Territory Wars and Grand Arena. It's whether one you do individually, one you do with your guild. I want some variety about it. So if you move Grand Arena in the territory battles, you get a little bit of more of a mix between events, and it's spread out a little bit more. It gives you a little bit of a break.
Yeah, makes sense.
But that's just my personal preference. I did like it when it was running during territory battles rather than territory wars. But, personal preference. Now, let's get into the news here. There were... So, General Grievous finally hit the game. Along with Magna Guard and Droideka. And let's just say... Well, let's start first from the beginning here. They go through and give Arnold a video of General Grievous going through just walking over Revan teams. Not really struggling, almost full health, full protection, going through the teams. And let me tell you, that video in General Grievous, amazing. Looked absolutely amazing. Looked like a fun team. Had Droideka, B1, B2, and Magna Guard in it. Looked very fun. Then we started to get Grievous into the game. People started maxing him out. Was working okay, but nothing spectacularly. Figured it needed Droideka. Droideka comes. Put him in with Revan. Still not the greatest.
Yeah, it wasn't the linchpin auto meta team that we...
I don't think people were thinking auto, but what they were winning, and they were winning barely, and they were always having like a character, like they were surviving with like 2 or 3 characters barely holding on, beating Revan or timing out, not this full health, full protection that the video showed. So, first thought, and looking at it, was, well, B1 was definitely not giving protection, regaining protection of the person he was calling in to assist when hitting a target lock player or character. Okay. So there's some bugs. Went through. General Grievous damage just looked really off on all the gameplay that everybody was seeing, everybody was trying out. So figured, well, maybe something with General Grievous's lead is just bugged or not doing right. There was something, everybody thought something was off. So CG went through and announced that we're going to look into this, and do you want to go over the response that they gave us?
Get good.
Yeah. And y'all are stupid and modding him incorrectly.
Wait, wasn't that...
blunt?
Blunt, but kind of not false.
That was the down and dirty of what they basically said. Get good, right. Y'all are stupid and modding him incorrectly. If you knew how to play him correctly, you wouldn't be running into this issue.
Yeah, and it's... Man, where to even begin on this? I've been on Reddit here and there, watching all the YouTube videos, a lot of the commentary, and it's a lot of, okay, is this the player base's fault? Is the CG's fault? Who's to blame here? Because everybody's got to blame somebody for something. I think this was just a lot of things just added up all at once that just blew up. I don't think there was just one single thing that you can really point to. So let's break down all the different things that happened here.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. It is a whole bunch of things at once, and just the themes involved of everything that was happening and the timing of everything happening definitely contributed to this.
Right. And I think starting off is as always, it's community expectations. Every time you have a delta between reality and expectations, there's going to be disappointment there. General Grievous is a fan favorite character that has been awful since the beginning. He's hard to get. He's people want him to be top tier. There's a lot of work goes into him.
We shouldn't say he was originally very hard to get, and right now he is very not hard to get. It's just going to take you a long time, and it is definitely a resource strain to be able to get him, because there's a lot better things to buy in that store rather than the few times General Grievous shows up.
Right. I forget who said it. It was either McMole or Arnold, or somebody made a good point. This is not a raid character, though. This isn't a journey character or a legendary character. You can get him at any time you want. So that is kind of one positive to it. But like you said, it is going to take a lot of resources. So there was that. When we heard there was a rework coming, we rejoiced. We wanted it to be good. And given CG's track history, a lot of the reworks have been really good. So we had...
Yeah, because, I mean, I can't remember a rework that's been bad since they started reworking whole factions.
Right. And this isn't a bad rework, per se. Again, it's not useful where I think a lot of people wanted it to be useful. So, and that kind of goes into the biggest issue, in my opinion, the meta. The Revan meta is so stale and so overwhelming. People are just fiending for a change. Anything. You could have the trash compactor monster from New Hope come to the game, and people will want this to be a Revan Killer.
Well, to go along with that, so yes, Revan is like 87% of the meta. As I was saying earlier about going through trying to figure out a better way to go through and climb up through these Revans, because I'm struggling with Revan mirror matches, with me actually having better mods than my opponent, not being able to get through them. It's a timeout team. It is not fun. It is Xeris teams all over again, where if you don't take in the right team, get the right RNG, you will time out. It is not fun. Then you run into another issue with how they have been reworking characters and releasing characters. They have a theme to the character. General Grievous's theme throughout the movies, throughout Clone Wars, throughout his whole backstory is he's a Jedi killer.
Right.
He has 4 lightsabers and shows them off by using them because of they're from Jedi that he has killed. So you go through and hype up General Grievous, show a video of him defeating Revan, and his backstory is a Jedi killer. You're gonna think that he has some anti-Jedi synergy and will be able to take out Jedi. And guess what he cannot do? Very easily is take out Jedi.
Well, he can't take out Revan specifically. A Bastila team, he can handle pretty much anybody else, and we'll talk about that a little bit later too.
Yeah,
but
that's more of what I was going through. Just thematically, just the timing of this. You have the stale meta that's Jedi. Then you release a character and rework a faction in which they're known for killing Jedi. I understand where the hype was coming from, thinking that he would be able to at least take on and kind of create that rock, paper, scissors matchup where Grievous was countering Revan, but Revan or General Grievous wasn't going to hold on defense because you have CLS or Traya that'll be able to wipe him out. You can't leave CLS in because Traya will wipe him out, and you can't leave Traya in because Revan will come up and wipe him out. That would have created a very good rock, paper, scissors synergy within Arena, and that's where people were going through looking at this happening, and we're like, all right, I can see how this would work, and this would be a very good thing for the meta and very healthy thing for the game. Right,
and that kind of leads into some other issues we have right now is how these characters are communicated. The community, and it's a double-edged sword too. One, this releasing, select footage to select outlets and this relying on their interpretation of it to get the word out. That's not the best way of doing things. You really want these in people's hands, letting them try it out, letting them theory craft with it. If only there was some sort of program that people could play the game and maybe make recommendations and change it or something like that.
And not even change it. just have them test it out beforehand.
Yeah.
That way they can go through and give what their opinion on where this team is going through. And if you're going to release a video like this, don't show it going up against the meta.
Yeah,
show it going up against other teams in Grand Arena. Show a variety of teams, seeing where it's good, where it's bad. And then the first thing the community is going to do is going to take it up against a number 1 ranked team and see how it does. So CG does not need to go through and show it off that way.
Well, I mean, that's what the community wants. You know, every character that comes out. Remember Treya? When she was a meta, every release, like there was 50 million YouTube videos, you know, character X, Revan Killer. And because that's all people made, all people showed, and it's still like that. You know, a character comes out, and if they don't dominate the meta, the community considers them trash. You know, a territory war or Grand Arena or even raid characters at this point, it's a hard sell. You know, nobody's. Well, yeah, I'd say nobody's interested in it, but not everybody.
Well, CG created that. CG created that with this one. CG created the Revan Killer because of the video they created and they handed out.
Yeah.
If they would have went through and did CLS or Treya and then had Revan or General Grievous going up against crew, bounty hunters, and teams like that, and then let the community try out against Revan, it would have been a lot differently.
Yeah. You know, and it brings up another issue, too, of just marketing. You know, you want to market your products in a good light. You know, McDonald's isn't going to say, hey, the Big Mac, it's all right. You know, it's probably going to taste shitty if you order it in the middle of the night, but it's a burger, whatever. You know, it's always going to be, you're going to show it in the best light. You're going to show it, you know, your character's winning and all that. You don't want to try to sell a character going up against CLS and getting smoked on the first counter.
Well, the problem is also CG has already been caught doing that with 8-dot mods going up against teams that did not have mods at all to make them look good. So it's really hard to go through and take what CG goes through and says that. You look at any of the videos, you're like, I don't know. It looks like they're doing really good, but what are their mods at? We already know they're testing out 8-dot. Yeah. They had 8-dot mods on stuff before, trying out different abilities and just bonuses for mods. So that footage we saw was that them just basically putting godlike mods and boosting mods all galore to where they could do anything they want, where any team could look good against Revan.
Yeah, that's a good point, too. I mean, they really need to show kind of what the stats are before going into there.
And there's a reasoning they don't do that, because we're going down, because
it does lead into the next.
It does lead into it, but I want to go into this, and I want to go down a rabbit hole, kind of, because CG complained about leaks. We don't want leaks and everything. They can't even release a video they made and edited on their own without having some sort of leak, unless they went through and put it in there kind of as a teaser or Easter egg, which I highly doubt.
I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards that may have been on purpose.
I don't know. I do not think they wanted to go through and show HK-47 with a Zeta in there with the Triumvirate. Minus Treya, but there seemed to be a different leader in there. Did you catch the leader?
I did. Darth Gamorrean Guard, the triple Zeta Sith.
Oh, yeah. That is right. A 3 Zeta. Zeta. 3 Zeta Gamorrean Guard. Gamu getting 3 Zetas. Oh, man. This just put through gasoline on the fire, you name it. They went through, and this just ignited the community going through and showing this off, because to me, that looks like a placeholder, especially with HK-47 sitting there with a Zeta, because that looks like a rework, which goes right into what we were talking about earlier with Juhani and Karth and Canderous and Darkseid Bastila. And then that fifth spot being HK-47 is what we both were leaning towards.
Yep.
That looks like a placeholder for another Sith.
So yeah, that's on the horizon, and that will no doubt be a meta changer, because all the footage we got, there was number 1, number 2 teams. So I think that's on the way. But and until then, but kind of going back to the stats and the mods they put on this test footage, General Grievous and the droids, they have unique kits that require different modding strategies. You know, you want health on General Grievous, you want your droideka to be slow because he does a speed check. The community is not really used to modding that way, so when they're putting their speed and crit damage and offense sets on there, they're not getting the damage they anticipate. So that kind of added to the fire as well. Now that the characters are out a little bit and people are playing with them, modding them correctly, it's a powerful team. It's very useful in Territory Wars. Probably a full Grand Arena. I dinked around with it a little bit on the 3v3 and didn't have a whole lot of success.
I was telling you, I think you need Low there as a leader. Put General Grievous, Low, and Droideka in there. I think it's an amazing team there.
Yeah, I saw one video. I forgot who did it, but it was Jedi training Rey with Grievous, with all droids, and it seemed to be a pretty good team as well. So yeah, this all these things added up, and slowly, more good news is coming out of this. I do have to give CG some credit. Carrie was on Reddit and was really speaking, quite frankly, and openly about a lot of these issues and admitting their mistakes and, saying that, hey, we don't always release characters to change the meta. That's never what this was about, which is actually kind of good. And here's why. Revan has been the meta forever. And a lot of people without Revan have been sitting on the sideline waiting for him to come back and jump in and play, which they finally got a chance to do. Now, had they released Grievous as a hard counter to Revan at this point, where you have to get B1 and B2 and Droideka up to 7 stars to compete, that's pay to play, basically. And so if they had a hard counter so close to Revan coming back, I'm going to say this term. I hate to say it, but it's kind of a slap in the face to the free-to-play that never got a chance to really enjoy their Revan. So I think giving them a couple of weeks, let Revan shine for just a little bit longer, I think was actually a good move.
I don't think it would have been bad if CLS and Traya countered General Grievous fairly easily and just General Grievous was countering just Revan and created that rock, paper, scissors. I don't think that would have been much of an issue. The issue I have with her saying that is, okay, if that wasn't your intention to have General Grievous break up and change the meta, fine. Then why did you have your hype video for General Grievous only showing meta matches against Revan?
Again, I think that's what the community wants to see, and
that may be what the community wants to see, but that would be for the game changers and other content creators to show then, and leave CG putting out videos in which their intentions were made for Grievous, or at least something similar on what their intentions were made for Grievous.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to have more variety of the footage out there.
Yeah.
But also, Grievous can beat Revan teams. It's not consistent. It's a struggle, but it can be done.
Yeah. So if they went through and showed a video of them beating Revan, but had other metas in which Grievous was more designed to take out, I can understand that. But, man, it seemed like pretty much all that video was going up against Revan.
Yeah. Well, speaking of things that Grievous are good against, a lot of videos are starting to come out with Grievous against other teams. Cubs fan Han's been doing a lot of videos on Grievous. Arnold had one. We went up against some shard mates using different teams, and he's a good team almost against everybody. I mean, minus Revan-led teams, Traya teams, CLS, and in some cases Night Sisters.
No, not some cases Night Sisters. Pretty much all cases Night Sisters with Mother Talzin in there, because B1 is basically useless. You get Plague on B1 and it's over. For B1. I saw him getting a win, but they are a pretty good counter to him. But against crew teams, against Kira teams, against Bosk bounty hunter teams, and pretty much anybody else, he's walking over them. Yeah, I was gonna say I think I saw Ewoks going up against them, just ran over them.
Yeah, Bastila teams.
Yep, Bastila team with a run over. So yeah, he is a very good team. I think it would have been much more palatable for a lot of the people watching if they would have shown more of those teams originally rather than just Grievous.
It's going to be an interesting line to find, because you do want to give the community something to play with. You don't want to just explain it all and the meta's there with no player input, no theory crafting, and any of that fun stuff. You got to give the community something to play with your game. But I think it's going to turn out to be a good team. I don't regret my decision. My arena is in a good spot, so I wasn't too concerned with improving there. I do fully expect the meta to shift in a couple of weeks anyway. So I may regret spending some gear there. And the only real downside is it is a very, very resource-intensive team. You got to put a lot of gear and a ton of Zetas in this team, which if you're still building your roster, may be better off spending one or two to build out a bunch of different teams. Mm-hmm. But if you're kind of in-game, why not?
Yeah.
Grievous is a cool dude.
Yeah, it's cool. Goes up against everybody. Actually, man, if I had that full team, I'd be really tempted to set him on defense just to see how people would actually go through and try to take him out. Because they would think, oh, well, he can't beat Revan, he can't beat Traya, but I'm not going to use those two teams, really good teams, to take him out. They're going to take B teams up against him and just get run over. So you could have a very big advantage both in Territory Wars and Grand Arena because of people not so much a little underestimating him, but also not wanting to use those A teams to take him out and try to save him for later.
All right.
So, yeah, definitely, don't get me wrong, it does look like a fun team. I am super excited for Droidica and everything else going around this team. CG just really did not handle this release and the aftermath very well, I should say.
I think they handled the aftermath okay, just with the communication. I don't think they saw this coming.
I guess I should. I think CG Carey did with their stuff on Reddit. I don't think the original post after everybody came out asking if Grievous was bugged and basically coming out and go, well, if you guys were modding him correctly, you wouldn't be seeing this.
Well, I don't think that was that bad. I mean, it's not a wrong statement.
No, that good statement didn't go over very well. I mean, they could have went through and said, yep, there is no bugs. He's working as intended. Probably, I don't even know how you would phrase that a little bit better, or just leave it at that and let the community go through and just put there are interesting ways to actually go through and use General Grievous that you guys haven't found yet, and just left it at that and be done with it. But
I don't know. Well, we really need to cover the true controversy here. Is General Grievous a droid or a cyborg?
I always thought of General Grievous as a cyborg.
He is absolutely a cyborg. But they don't have a cyborg tag in the game. But
yeah, a droid to me is a complete machine that has an AI in it. A cyborg has a actual brain that has droid parts built around him.
Okay, so does that make Luke a cyborg? Because he has a hand.
Yes, it does. That would make Luke a cyborg.
So in this game, he needs to have droid synergy.
Actually, he probably should, considering he did build C-3PO he didn't build C-3PO, but he maintained C-3PO and R2-D2. Vader and Anakin would definitely be a cyborg.
Right, so Vader, droid synergy, we need it. Let's see.
Vader really should have better synergy with C-3PO.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. I made you, I can unmake you.
Exactly. Force Crush just has C-3PO fall apart.
Yeah, actually, I don't know if Darth Vader would consider himself as the creator of C-3PO, because he always wanted to separate Anakin as a completely different person. He would tell himself, the Jedi is dead, Anakin is dead. So he'd probably try to compartmentalize that.
Then Jedi Anakin should have C-3PO synergy. We'll just back up the timeline.
Yeah. There you go. That's a good point. Anyway, so we had some fun on Discord with that little conversation. So that's your weekly reminder. If you're not in our Discord, what are you doing with your life? Get in there.
We have random, interesting conversations based on what's happening in the game.
Yeah. Well, you would do some theory crafting and all that boring stuff too, but we really talk about the hard-hitting, relevant things.
That is right. We always get the hard-hitting facts in there. Yeah. So let's get into the marquee watch because, man, it is getting down to crunch time here. It
is. I got to say, though, nothing but net on this prediction. We had Juhani and Karth. We predicted they would go free to play on the 22nd and 23rd. We got them on the 21st. So I'll take that as a bullseye.
Yeah, that is definitely a bullseye because we were only off because we had the approximate.
It's just the way the days work.
Yeah, we had it on like a Saturday and Sunday where if we actually looked at that, we would have backed it up to Wednesday or Thursday when a normal game update would actually happen.
So, yeah, they hit shipments. Well, people weren't too thrilled about where they ended up. We got another hard node farm.
Well, the Juhani one wasn't that bad. A 16 energy hard node is not that bad.
Yeah.
Karth, on the other hand.
Yeah. The community as a whole was really wishful thinking it would go to Cantina or even a store, but no. 20 energy fleet for Karth.
Yeah.
At least they gave out Carbonis on that one, so it's not as bad. But the worst part is just the energy refresh cost for fleet energy. You get like 2, and then it's up to 200 already. Come on now.
Yeah, I'm just doing the one refresh like I've been doing for everything else, going through refreshing the node once and buying enough energy to be able to go through and completely use the 8 attempts each. So. I'm plugging away.
I'm going hard on them. I am doing up to 200 energy refreshes. I'm doing all the energy purchases up to 200, getting all my free energy, of course. And buying shipments just when they show up in the store. So I am going ham.
Yeah, sounds like it. So speaking of that, going ham on this. Who are you grinding on there?
Oh, well, yeah, I was gearing up all my separatists. So they still got a few stun guns and whatnot to go. So we're working on them a little bit longer. As far as grinding the hard nose, Juhani, she is at 52 of 85. I've got Django almost done. He's getting a little bit of leftover love. He's at 89 of 100. So a couple days, that one will be done.
Nice.
And then B28 still just chilling out, 23 of 85. Karth is at 28 of 85. So he's a little behind Juhani, but he's getting there. And then Annie's ship, 20 of 85.
Yeah, I'm just working on Jolie and Kira as I go through and get either stun guns and Carbantes right now. I need those yellow med packs or whatever the hell they are for Jolie right now. I need 2 more of those, and he already took 2 of them, so depleted my resources there with that piece of gear. So really just waiting on those to get Jolie up to gear 12. Then Bastila's going really well with just that one refresh. So I'm at 55 of 100 with Darkside Bastila right now. So that farm's going very well. Django kind of went on the wayside. I got him up to 29 of 100, and he's going to be there for a while. Because, yeah, I need that energy for both Darkside Bastila and Juhani. Juhani, I'm at 6 of 65, so not terribly. And then going through, cruising on Aura, just using up that energy because I don't have anything else to farm in there worthwhile, and I want to get these bounty hunters, all the 7 stars in gear 12. And then Fleet. Yeah, Lando is going to stay at 85 of 100 for a while because all my energy is going to Karth, and I only have him at 29 of 30, so that's really not going great.
Yeah.
But not panicking. This is all part of the plan. Going through, grinding out, doing my refreshes, getting as many shards as possible. I will see what drops. I will go from there and then create a plan on whether I'm going to go through and have to do these gamble packs, or if I'm going to go through and spend some crystals and start buying shipments to kind of speed that farm up to try to get whatever's coming, or hopefully is coming for these characters. That way I'm not going to go through and miss out, and kind of get a nice little jump on things, hopefully. But yeah, getting them as close as possible for the least amount of crystal energy right now. Because if I go through and have Canderous and Bastila both at 7 stars, Juhani pretty close, and I'm just at Karth, I would be feeling pretty good going into any sort of event that comes up.
Yeah, sounds good. And remember, the weekly shipments will most likely have some packs for the characters you need too. So if you're getting kind of close, you can look at saving up some crystals for that. Yeah,
that's pretty much what I would be counting on, because by the amount of energy refreshes and even the gamble packs, what they average out to, you can get the shipments for cheaper. So I'd buy the weekly shipments plus whatever pops up in your daily crystal or daily energy shop, and just buy them that way, 16 at a pop, and go from there. But yeah, that's all we got this week. So just as a friendly reminder, for the same price of your brand new Droideka pack for $19.99, you can also get Tetris 99 with a yearly subscription to Nintendo online.
Get B1 and B2. You can get a Switch to play the Tetris on.
Oh, you can get more. You can get 2 Switches and actually compete against your family and friends.
Oh yeah, on that real quick, they did. I've seen some videos on the new Mega Pack, and it does seem to be a little cheaper.
Yeah, it seems to be about $50 cheaper.
Yeah.
So it's no longer 300 to 350 to get a character. It is now about 250 to 300.
Right. Yeah. So
such a bargain.
Value.
So let's wrap this up. Let's get through this housekeeping and get on out of here.
Yeah, y'all know the drill by now. Just, review us on your servers of choice. Check us out on Discord. Shoot us emails, cantinavizla@gmail.com. Check us out on thealliancegaming.com with other great content creators. Check out our buddy Ethan's stream. His link is in our Discord. He gets to do it every once in a while. It does have some good stuff on there. Let's see. If the show has helped you out any, or you just like us, like us. Head on over to patreon.com/Cantina Vizsla. Drop us a buck or two. It really helps the show grow. We're trying to get some things off the ground, but we can't do it without your support. That's it. That's my ad.
And I'm just going to throw it out. You mentioned Ethan. Grand Arena means one time. It means one thing to me. Urza is streaming. And let me tell you, you go through and start watching that, and by the end of his Grand Arena, you don't know what's going to happen. It could be good. It could be bad. It gets very entertaining by the time he gets to the back zones.
Yes, also a friend of the show. Gotta get him back on. I want to hang out with him too.
Yeah,
not fair. You get to have all the fun, hang out with all the celebrities.
All the Swoga heroes around.
That's good. hey. Also, if you're a Swoga hero and you'd like to be on our show, hit us up on Discord. Maybe we can work something out. We're always looking to have guests, and so all of you don't have to just hear our two voices going back and forth all the time.
Yeah, for sure. We'll definitely figure something out. So we'll be on Discord waiting to hear back from anybody. And until next time, guys, later.
Yep.
As you are exiting the cantina, we would like to say thanks for stopping by, and we hope to see you out on the holotables soon.